A little late. I got a little screwed up there for a second. It's in the booth. Whew. All right, I thought I was gonna be more prepared for this, but we're just gonna go at it. Just barely getting things set up. Lay down, girls. Come here. Lay down. Lay down. All right. Thanks for joining in, guys. All right, we're just gonna, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape out a flame kind of tribal design using limelight tape. Right here, using 1/8 inch. Okay, I'm gonna get you guys in here a little closer. We'll do the other side and let you know exactly what's going on. All right, you can see I started it out right there. I'm gonna put an airbrushed, he wants an airbrushed Grim Reaper right here on the back of the fender. And that's gonna be kind of like a secondary graphic to the flames. So I'm not kind of stretching them all the way down, or usually I probably would. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off this center one right here. And then I'm just gonna break it off right there. So probably the most important thing that I've ever learned when doing flames that somebody told me, and this clicked with me. They said to do the inside of it first. So just do like a horseshoe U. That's what I did right here. And I'll do another one right here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull that off. I'm gonna finish this one up, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about here in a second. Okay, see how I did that? I just went off and did one more of those. So it's like 1.5 is what I'm gonna do. Here's the half. Just like that. So 1.5, that's usually what I always do. And then as you can see right here, I just kind of broke it off right here because the flame that I'll do here will attach into that. So I always usually do 1.5, so 1.5. If that makes sense, hopefully it does. So, and what I was talking about earlier, doing the U first, to start with that, I'm gonna do that right here. So I don't want it to match up exactly with this. Because it's offset anyway, so I'm gonna do it a little, maybe down here, up there, we'll see how it looks. But I'm gonna do this U to start it. And the spacing from here to here, you kind of just have to get to know the spacing. If you're doing fat flames, they're gonna have to be more spacing between. Just like that. And then, like I said, I've been doing a tribal flame, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock that off right there and just put another point headed the other direction. like that. Okay, that looks kind of screwy right there. So I'm gonna fix that, whatever's going on. There we go. Just took a sharp curve, didn't look natural. So we're not worried about the outsides, like right here. You see I'm just breaking it off. I'm gonna be masking this off and just painting the inside. So we're always gonna have nice sharp edges where the paint ends, because we're painting the inside of the flames and masking out the negative. All right, so now I'm thinking, because I was supposed to do the tribal flame, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this one, and I'm gonna turn this one, this natural flame, into another tribal flame. So just pull that off right there. All right. So at least this way it shows you how to do pull styles. I'm going to thicken this one a little bit. Sometimes it doesn't go right the first time, every time. Pull the tape, it doesn't look right. Just wanted to fatten this up a little bit. And then when I'm taking these corners, I'm making sure I'm not pulling on the tape too hard. See, I'm just letting it roll off my fingers. So that. Don't forget you'll need razor blades to be able to cut the edges here. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and mask these up. So I like to use this 3M, what's it called? 233 Plus. You could probably find this on my Amazon site. I'll have that linked in the description there. But yeah, in that Amazon link that's in the description, you'll be able to find most, if not everything that I use to paint this on that link. So go check it out. So I'm gonna start off with just regular masking tape, 1/4 inch masking tape, green, 3M. I'm just gonna follow and just try to hit halfway between tape You want to make sure that you don't go over too. It'll flatten that edge out. There we go. You could also just lay a bunch of tape over all of this and then cut it out with a razor blade. So there's a bunch of different ways. I like doing it this way because if you're new and you're just new taping out flames, like every time you mask this up, it just makes you better. Like, because I'm just following the same shape as the flame. You see, I'm just cutting it halfway through that tape right there to mask it up. It's just kind of like giving you practice. Just gives you the right motion. All right, almost done here, this part. Okay, once I have it laid out, again with the fatter tape, I'm just gonna hit everything that's super skinny, like in between here, with this tape a little bit more. Where it kind of comes close. It's just easier to do it that way, and then I come in with fatter tape later. And you know, I'm not taping this off like super good because I am going to be airbrushing some fire and stuff back in the other space in this, so there's a little bit of overspray. I just kind of work with it into the fire design. All right, I'm going to move up to some 3/4 inch tape. You know, see, if you were trying to use this right there, you'd have to end up ripping it a bunch of times. Just use that smaller tape to get that taken care of. Spot right there. Almost there, guys. Thanks for hanging with me. All right, a little bit more right here, and then we can move some fatter tape. All right, I think we can move to 1.5 inches. We're gonna tape out the whole thing. If you were just leaving this solid black, then you would definitely want to tape out the whole thing. But since I'm gonna be doing more airbrush work, I can deal with a little bit of overspray. It doesn't really matter. I'm also going to show you guys how to put a pinstripe on this without using a brush. You're just using an airbrush. Something that took me a long time to figure out. So yeah, if you guys are with me, appreciate it. You're definitely gonna get some value out of that, being able to put a pinstripe in there. It took me, I think I remember the day I figured out how to do it, because I don't really pinstripe at all with a brush. I know how to do a little bit. It's just not, I don't know, I've just always had an airbrush. I've always learned how to do it without it. So I'll show you an easy way to be able to put a pinstripe on this. More right here. Okay, getting close. Tape off this. Maybe one more right there. Okay. Right? Get it all? Like I said, it doesn't matter. If it did matter, you would want to go through and check everything. Push all your tape down really good. But I don't really care in this because, like I said, I'm doing more work to it. That it's just a fiery background, so it's might even kind of help me. So, all right, we got it taped out. So we are gonna mix up some paint. Let me show you how to do that. Move this off to the side real quick. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and mix up all the paint that I need. Sides, let's see. Okay. I'm gonna need to go grab the black real quick. Hang with me, guys. Okay. Hope this is not too confusing for you guys. I'm gonna mix up a couple of different shades here. First thing I'm gonna mix up is some silver base coat. Now you can use any silver base coat. This is just Omni brand, but I think on my Amazon link in the description, you'll find House of Color has some silver. There's also, I think Speedo Coat might have a silver too, same brand as this. So hopefully I don't make a mess here. So all I'm gonna do is pour some of that silver base coat. And then you can use any urethane reducer on all this stuff. So this is a U-Pull urethane reducer. You'll find that on the affiliate link. You'll also find there's an off-brand. You could buy a gallon for like 30 bucks or something like that. Pretty good deal. I think it's less than 30 bucks. So that's what's in this guy right here. So I'm gonna thin that out. And as far as thinning it out, I like to have it pretty thin. I like it to be able to, I like to shoot out and have a soft blend. So, I mean, generally I'll mix it about 50% paint with 50% reducer. But there's no hard rule there. I mean, if you want, you can have it really thin as long as you turn down your air pressure and your airbrush. You can have it super thin. Okay. So that's the silver mixed up. Bam, got that. And let's see. Okay, we're gonna mix up some white base coat. You can get Speedo Coat brand on this as well. We're not gonna need much of this. And once again, this same U-pole reducer. Definitely making a mess here. Okay, so I got straight white in that. I'm gonna do a little more white in this guy. Don't ask me why I'm pouring it this time. I need a little more. And then we're gonna just put some black. Okay, this black is what's in there. Just gonna make a gray tone by mixing those two together. Once again, about 50% reducer. Depends on what you like. Okay, that's it. So we have a dark gray tone. We have a white tone, which I'm actually going to tone that down just a little bit. So pouring that a little bit in there. I didn't want it that stark white, so maybe just a really light gray is better. And then we got the silver. And I think that's all we're doing. That's all we need. We could do a black too, but I think I'm gonna hold off on that. It's necessary. But so we got those three colors. We're gonna work with those. Okay. Back to the fender. All right, for this I'm using a Awada Eclipse HPCS. That's what I use on everything. I don't change out the needle or the tip or anything like that. That's just what I use. I use it even when I'm detailing. So I'm gonna get that cleaned out. All right, bam. We're going to start out with the dark gray mixture. And then I'm going to grab this, let's see who makes this. Gerald Mendez. It's a splatter stencil. You could You could use a splatter stencil, or you could actually just tear a piece of paper too. I'm gonna use this stencil, I like it, it's easy. I'm just gonna, so I got this loaded up with the gray. So I'm just gonna lightly go in and add a bunch of texture to it. All right, hopefully you guys can see that. Let me get up a little closer here for you. All right, I'm kind of done with the stencil at this point, so I'm just gonna kind of come in, highlight some areas. Okay, don't know what happened there. Sorry, guys. For some reason it didn't like that. All right, guys, thanks for sticking with me. It's always something. And I'm just gonna kind of fill these in, not making it, you can keep going with the texture if you want a bunch, but it's just nice to kind of start some of it and then just get in a little closer and kind of fade in some of those areas, kind of complement what you already have. And then like I'll come in here and just add some finer little details. All right, that's looking pretty good for that stage. Let me go hit this side a little better. So like right here, I'll just kind of follow what's already there and then break off the map. Okay, that's looking pretty good. All right, I'm gonna show you how I rinse out my airbrush because I think this is pretty important. I use a spray bottle like this and I just put lacquer thinner in it to clean it out. So I got quite a bit of gray paint there, so I'm gonna save it. Pour it back into that. So I just get an old rag. I don't want to do this without splashing on the fender, but that's how I clean it out. Yep, just like that. So I'm gonna take the white. Well, it's actually light gray is really what it is, because we did put a couple of drops of dark gray in there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of like, see how that's, see, I think that needs to be reduced a little more. Hopefully you can see that on the camera, but it's just not blending out. It's blending out big particles. So I'm gonna reduce it a little more. That way the droplets are smaller. See, that's way better. See how that kind of just melts in? Hopefully you can see that. That's where you want to reduce it to. If you're getting, if you can look really close and you can see a bunch of dots, then you probably need to reduce, to thin out your paint a little more. Unless you're wanting that effect, which is fine. So I'm just gonna hit the edges. Make sure they're nice and bright. I'm not hitting all the edges, just here and there. When we put the pinstripe on this, I'm going to show you how to do that here in a minute. So, I mean, I tell you, it's super important. I mean, if you don't know how to put a pinstripe on it with an airbrush at this point, you're going to learn a lot here in just a second. All right, and then I'm gonna take the same color here, just kind of detail it out a little more. Kind of following what I already have, just brightening up some of the areas. Might even hit it a little bit more with the stencil. Here and there to give it just some highlights. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right. The last thing, let's see, actually we're going to, let's clean out this white. All right. Put the airbrush away for a second. All right, this is the point where I told you I was going to show you how to put the pinstripe on this now. So I'm just going to go back with 1/8. What is that? What is all? Hold on one sec. So, Dude, I don't know what was all over that, but okay. So this is how you put a pinstripe on. So all I'm gonna do is just butt it up right next to the 1/8 inch tape that we already have. And it's okay if you're a little bit over or a little bit under. You kind of want to stay right dead on though. I try to butt it up right on the edge of that. So all I'm doing is just shielding another 1/8 inch off the edge of this. You don't necessarily have to do this. You could just, I mean, you could have just pulled the tape at this point and you would have had flames. But this is going to give it kind of definitely a more finished look. But it all looks good. And once again, this will help you just following the lines you already have by putting these pinstripes on. It just makes you that much better when you go to just start freehanding them on. But just like a few tips while I'm doing this, like when I first started doing it, I didn't know how to tape them out, so I drew them out with a pencil and a piece of paper. So start with the inside, and then you just draw it out like you would tape it out. And sometimes that'll give you a better idea of what you're doing wrong or where to start. But definitely starting on the inside, just like that. Okay, oh, got a couple right here. Right. Did I get all those? Yep. See, I'm off a little bit here and there, but that's why. I'm gonna go back to the 1/4 inch masking tape and just double that up again. close here. Once again, I'm just doubling up the tape on this, splitting it right between that grain to cover up any voids or any kind of overspray we might have. Last one. All right, woo. It's been a lot of work so far. Looking good though. So, oh, we're in one more right here. All right. Cool, so this is how you put the pinstripe on. We just laid out the pinstripe with tape. Pretty easy. And then just doubled up the tape with the other masking. And we already have the airbrush cleaned out. We're gonna go back to the dark gray mixture. All right, we're just gonna go back, shadow this area. Just some of the areas we're gonna just shadow everything here and there. Okay, just a little bit. Okay, you probably remember I wasn't gonna mix up any black. I've changed my mind. I feel like I could leave it the way it is, and it would be a slight pinstripe because it is brighter on the other side of that tape. But I really want that pinstripe to pop, so I'm going to mix up some black, which is already mixed up. It's right here. This is the Speedo Coat Black. It's on my, once again, it's on in the description. Amazon link. You can buy it in the quart or the gallon. You'll want to buy some urethane reducer too, so you want to reduce it as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and pour this right into that. All right, this will do it. This is really gonna create some contrast there. Kind of just hitting it randomly, you know, not hitting it like sharp in every corner. pretty close. Blend in a couple more of these areas. All right, I think we got that. We're gonna go ahead and pull off the pinstripe to see what kind of contrast we have. Oh yeah, that's great. I don't want to pull it all off yet because I do want to add just a little bit of silver metal flake over all of this. Well, not silver, I'm sorry, not silver metal flake, just silver metallic. You really don't lay over heavier metal flake over tape. It's something you have to do beforehand. But you can lay down some metallic paint. Okay, look at that. That looks great. All right, we did mix up some silver earlier. Should pour that guy back in there. Trusty spray bottle. And then I just use one of my old rags. I'll clean off the cap. All right, we're gonna grab that silver base coat. And then I'm just gonna dust this. Hopefully you can see all this. Get in a little closer. Gonna dust this in just to give it some sparkle. Okay, that's it, don't need much. All right, let's pull off this tape. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah. Yep, that's looking good. It has some nice crisp edges on there. Seems a little bit overspray, but like I said, I'm going to be doing some more graphics in this, so really no worries on that. Whoa, almost got it. All right, here we go. So that wasn't too hard. Just to recap kind of some of the stuff that we did. So this was base coated black. I used the Line 1/8 inch. Lined it all out with that, starting from the inside. So you'll be able to replay this video if you guys didn't catch the first part, but for sure, start with the inside, work your way out from that. Then we masked it up, we mixed up a few colors, we laid down those colors, we used the Jared Mendez stencil to create some texture. I showed you how to do that pinstripe right here. Pretty easy to do. Super clean. We pulled the tape and that was it. I mean, we can go in there and add some more highlights with some white if we wanted to, but tomorrow I will be laying down a Grim Reaper style skull in a blue candy. So that'll be around the same time, 12:05 tomorrow, if everything goes right. But that'll be tomorrow. I appreciate you guys watching. If you want to learn more about custom paint, make sure you subscribe, like this video if you got any value. But I'll just kind of pan around here. Hopefully you can see it a little better. Thanks, D. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Hey, if you want to learn more about the Grim Reaper, tune in tomorrow, 12:05 again. Thanks for being here.